Okay, so why travel? So the first thing is when you go overseas, it's a unknown environment. So if you've never traveled before, you may have anxiety, stress, and worry about going overseas. It's all unknown. So you're overcoming a fear at the beginning. But once you start getting there, even trying to get to the hotel, interpret what the street signs are, etc. It may not be so simple. The language barrier may be an issue, but you're going to have to go out your comfort zone. You're going to have to engage with locals. You're going to have to start being independent. You know, in the West, we're often wrapped in cotton wool or whatever because, oh no no no, you shouldn't be doing that. Oh no no no. Like cars, if you imagine if a car stayed the same without your side impact protection, your seat belts and everything else, I'm not saying you should or shouldn't, but how cheap that car would be compared to how much it is now. All these extra features all cost money, and that's what it comes as standard. Yeah, but the price went up by £1,000. But anyway, but when you travel, you are reliant on yourself. So first thing is you're going to engage with more people. Second thing is you're more likely to make more friends instantly or um, just through the experiences. For example, I was thinking about why people are so miserable in the UK. Is it the way I interpret it, or have they become more miserable? And I think part of this is when I was out in the Philippines, the culture is very different. So, for example, if you're sat on the bus in the Philippines, people talk to you. They're asking where you're from, blah blah blah. There's a big engagement. In the UK, I go in the bus, I'm looking where the nutcase is. Because every time I get in a bus, there's a crazy person on there. I don't know why, but yeah, I'm not going to go on about the bus pass of this passenger last time that went on for about 15 minutes complaining about the driver didn't see her bus pass. She did have her bus pass, blah, 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 and she was just whinging like mad for it. But there's always some incident in the UK. Then obviously, I find the UK people are a lot more time sensitive, a lot more focused on whatever they're doing, whether it's sitting on the phone or whatever. They're not making a lot of time for themselves. In the Philippines, everyone seems a lot more chilled out, just generally, all the time. In Spain, I noticed they're a lot more chilled out. There's a lot around the family orientation. There's a lot, they're different cultures. So when you step out of your normal zone into this environment, which may be Philippines, Thailand, whatever, everything around you is changing because your perception is not what you have because you haven't got it yet. You are going to a country and you've got to be open with it. You've got to be open to culture. You've got to be open to what people are eating, what people are saying, where the hotels are, the types of accommodation, what's available to you, how you get from A to B. Services may not be, I can get to town in an hour, maybe a week because there's flooding, or it opens you up to so many new things, and it's good, really really good, because you find that a lot of the stuff in the West, for example, are minor issues when you compare to some of the stuff that goes on in the East. I mean, if we go through just a few of the major stuff, just off the top of my head for the stuff that I've been close to or experienced, Philippines was earthquakes, tsunami, ferry disasters, regular things like power cuts and stuff, power rotations, water rotations. These are all sort of things that are quite normal. But the way people deal with it, way more different. Way more different, because people know this is part of life. It's ingrained, it's part of life. You'll find people are still getting on with their day to day. It doesn't become the focus because they've got other stuff going on. But you travel, you see more, you experience more, you start to see there's different perspectives to things. The way you see things is not the only way. People in different countries have a different outlook on life. They have a different thought pattern. I mean, how many times have you been so happy that somebody's come and had dinner with you in your house? Probably never. In the Philippines, that's quite common. They want you to come to their house. They want you to have dinner with them. They're really proud of it, really happy. It's such an eye-opener, because even in the eyes of disaster, they see a positive. Even in just traveling around, you are relying on you. You've got to sort your own accommodation. You're sorting your clothing, your money, your own safety and security. You're 100% on your own. And that's what makes it amazing. Because in the West, there's always somebody on the phone. If you've got a problem, phone 999, 911 or whatever. When you go to the East, you may be on your own. It doesn't mean that you're going to worry about emergencies, but the fact is, the safety nets aren't there. You can't phone your mum, you can't phone for a lift or whatever. You've got to get a taxi, you've got to find a taxi, you've got to find a bus. You may have limited budgets, so you start thinking about how to do things cheaper, downscale your hotel, go on the bus instead of a taxi. You start thinking outside the box. You are reliant on yourself. That's what makes this experience not only unique, but you start to develop real life skills because you're on your own. And I do think if you're in your 20s, or I'd probably say 18 plus, you will get a lot of maturity out of it. I would say if you're at 18 to sort of say 22, maybe travel with somebody else, just because it might be too much in one go. But at the same time, if you move to something like Cebu, there's loads of foreigners and stuff around there. In the Philippines, the majority of people speak English, but the culture shock, the difference between rich and poor is in your face. The busyness of the places, the ability to travel so far with so little money, it's all there. It's all on you. It's all on your plate. So I highly recommend traveling. I think it enhances an individual. I think it makes them more rounded. I think it makes them really more rounded, because this was like, I hear this from schools. Oh, we ain't worried about maths and that because the kids are supposed to come out well rounded. No, they don't. They're coming out as bloody idiots a lot of the time, because you're not actually focused on key skills. But doing this sort of thing, it's key skills, because you've got to manage your money, you've got to manage where you're going, you've got to understand the weather, you've got to understand who to trust. Highly recommend traveling. Highly recommend it, because it will change your mindset 100%. And then you start wanting to crave to travel more. So you go out for a month, you come back, you're a different person. You may not even realize it, but you've changed. Your perception's changed. Your understanding of the world's changed. Your thoughts have changed. And then you start thinking, okay, I went to the Philippines, I want to go to Thailand next. I want to go to India next. Just bear that in mind. The world is your oyster. Not always going to be safe, so I'm not giving you an advisory on where to go or whatever, because you're not going to blame me, because the whole point is, this is on you. But I do recommend, if you go nowhere, you'll have nothing to worry about, but you'll never achieve anything either. Go and travel. Thanks for watching.